Intuitive viewers, how's it going? So we're here for the 2022 predictions, and we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of stuff going on. I am sorry about the lighting. It's kind of weird, and did a couple of interviews and the lighting's weird, but I'm in my own room right now because Cassie's home, so I'm not in her room anymore. So if you can just kind of bear with the lighting and the change of whatever. So anyway, so I have one big announcement, and then we'll get right into the predictions. But if you're really, dying to see the predictions, go forward, but come back for the announcement because it's exciting. So let me go ahead and tell you guys what's going on. And it kind of has to do with you guys, and it has to do with next year. I've been thinking about this for months. I've been working on it for a few months. And so I am really happy to announce that I'm going to be starting a membership next month. Or next month is the start of the signups, and then it will begin January 1st. It's going to be for all of 2022 and maybe beyond. We'll see how it goes, but it's definitely for 2022 all year long. And let me tell you what it is. And first of all, it's not like Patreon in the way that I'm not going to take things from the channel and put them now on Patreon. The channel will be exactly the same. So if you like the channel, you like the political things, you like Thursday Night Live, and you like the ladies' night and all that kind of stuff, that's all going to stay the same. So you don't have to do anything. I'm not going to change anything. Everything's going to stay exactly the same. Okay. This is an extra thing. It is for people that feel like they need extra support. They want extra messages from spirit next year. They want to be more in tune. They want to get more centered. They want to have a community to do it with. They want to have spiritual discussions and kind of go to the next level spiritually with my help, with spirit's help, and with the help of a community. So let me tell you what this is and what the membership is going to entail, okay? I'm going to kind of be reading because I have to remember all the little details. First of all, there's going to be 5 things every month for the members, for sure. And then there'll be little surprises sprinkled in through the year. But basically, week 1 and week 2, or sorry, week 1 and week 3, we'll have a 15-minute meditation and a message from spirit that will kind of be for the next 2 weeks. So week 1 and week 3, that will be happening. Week 2 and week 4, I'm so excited about, is going to be a book club. And I have to tell you, just to entice you, that January, we're going to be doing a walk in the physical, Christian Sundberg's book. And what we're going to do is have a discussion on week 2, about halfway through the book. And then when we finish the book at the end of the month, we're going to have a Q&A with the author or with a special guest. And I've already locked Christian in, so he can't say no. He's on the schedule. So he's going to be doing a Q&A with the members at the end of the month in January. So I'm so excited. I've been trying to get him back to do a Q&A, and now it's happening. So that's the other thing we'll be doing. So we'll be doing a book club on week 2 and week 4. And then the most important thing for people that they may be most interested in a lot of ways is that at the end of the month, I'll be doing mini readings for people. So and all of this is going to be done through the chat, just like we do when we do our lives. So I'll be kind of the host, kind of facilitating the conversation and the questions and everything. And you guys will just be writing in the chat and talking to each other and talking to me through that. So nothing changes that way. I just felt like it was an easy transition for people. So they don't have to download anything extra, or do anything extra, or learn anything extra. You just get on like you would a normal life. And that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to be doing mini readings for people at the end of the month. And those will all be personal questions, spiritual questions, messages from loved ones on the other side, so mediumship. And the reason I'm going to be doing that is because in the middle of next year, I'm going to be doing just mentoring sessions. I'm not going to be doing like personal readings anymore. I really, really want you guys to grow your own gifts. You have them. You have your own abilities. And so I really want to help facilitate this and again, kind of demystify this process and help you guys navigate it the very best that you can. So if you want those kind of personal things, they're not going to be on my regular channel, because at the very, very beginning, I did that a little bit and I just felt it wasn't, for me, it was a little bit of an open forum. I didn't want trolls and things to be there. If we're doing personal questions and stuff like that, I just wanted to be a more protected environment. So I feel like the membership is a perfect way to implement that. So I'll be doing personal readings, mini readings for people. So you can ask anything from what kind of car should I buy to you know, a message from a loved one on the other side. Okay. So that's going to be happening, and that will be every month at the end of the month. So there'll be 12 of those through the year, where it will be, you know, you can ask questions for yourself. And as I kind of stop doing the personal readings, I may do a few, but I'm not going to be as many. So so that may be really important to you, that you want to keep that those kind of personal questions that you have throughout the year, that may be important for you to know. So that's what will be included. So those 5 things will be included every month, and it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to tell you about how it's going to be done. So like I said, through the chat, normal thing, we've done it a million times, and there's going to be 2 pricing ways to do this. So you can either do the year, and that is going to be discounted, and all of this stuff is going to be inexpensive. All of this stuff is going to be affordable, because I never want money to stand in the way of you guys doing this. I don't want that to be to deter you from getting involved. And it's not to be wealthy. This is just to supplement my time, and that's it. That's really it. So it's going to be inexpensive, and I broke it down in 2 ways. So through the month of December, from the 1st to the 31st, you can get the year special, which will be one price for the year, and you'll get a calendar every quarter, and you can mix and match. You can just do the mini readings if that's all you're interested in. You can do whatever you want to do. You can kind of go through the year and just make your calendar and do whatever you feel like is good for you. So, and then that will have a discount. You can also do month to month, which will start in January, and after December 31st, the year special is done. Then it will just be a month to month, and you can do it month to month, and you can cancel anytime. And again, it's going to be cheap. It's not going to be expensive. You can do it month to month and cancel at any time. Okay. So, so you can just check it out and try it and see what it's all about. Okay. So, so I already talked about the quarterly calendar, and that everything will be live streamed. And I also wanted to say that this is going to be a safe, loving environment where we can ask questions and get answers and have open discussions and really kind of go deeper, spiritually, yeah, get more in depth with that and get more messages from spirit and things like that we need going into the 2022, which we will talk about. So right now, all the information is on my website. So it's intuitiview.com. Go there. You can read all about it. Sign up start December 1st. And what I want to say about that is, I don't know how many people are going to do this. So it could be 10 people, it could be a lot of people, but I'm hoping not to cap it. But I may have to, only because I want it to be more intimate. I want it to be a smaller group that we can kind of get to know each other and have discussions and things like that. And if it's too big, it's going to, cut people out. And I want it to be people to be very involved. And so the first thing I will do, if it gets big, I will split it into 2 groups, but I may have to cap it. So just letting you know, just in case you're, just don't, I would say if you're really, really interested and you know that you are, sign up in the beginning of December. That's what I'll say. And but you do have the whole month to kind of look at your budget and decide what you want to do. And but after the 31st, the special will end, and then you can just do month to month. So, you know, I hopefully made it easy that way and kind of an easy decision. And depending on your situation, I mean, you know your situation, but I gave you, I feel like between now and the 1st, you can kind of think about it, look at the website, just so you have plenty of time to, you know, I like to plan with my, you know, budget and stuff like that. So you guys may be the same way, but, so there you go. I'm so excited about this. This is spirit guided, spirit led, and part of it is because of 2022. So let's get into the predictions for 2022. Okay. So, all in all, the energy is in 2022 is going to be all about things coming to a head, both individually and on a collective level. So micro and macro, right? Things coming to a head and then changes being implemented. So for example, in the individual, it could be things like, you know, and things coming to a head that have kind of been percolating for a long time. So if there's been like a relationship where you've kind of been up and down, or that things may come to a head so that you finally decide to leave, or you finally decide to go to counseling, that kind of stuff. A job, you've been unhappy for a long time or wanted to change for a long time. So things will finally come to a head and you'll leave that job, or you'll start your own business. A lot of things like that, where it's kind of like things coming to some kind of a head, and then it's time to change. It's time to switch. So there'll be a lot of that going on. So you'll notice it in your own life. And yeah, this is going to be the time. So a lot of emotions coming to a head. So you might, you know, see things like that happening. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of exciting and a little bit kind of, you know, we might get off-centered a little bit and kind of a little bit, it might be a little bit of upheaval that might cause us to be a little bit nervous, you know, but we're going to talk about that too, because you know, anytime we have like, you know, big changes or big things going on, it can be a little disconcerting, but of course, you know, Spirit's like, okay, I got you. This is what's going to be happening. But I've gotten the message over the last couple of months to get centered, get grounded, find your center, find ways that you get grounded, because with all of this stuff, this upheaval and kind of, and not even upheaval, it's stuff coming to a final head, like a final clash, a final, you know, that kind of thing. So within that, there's going to be a lot of at times confusion. Where do I go? Who do I believe? Which side am I on? That kind of thing. And so it's very important for us to get kind of centered and grounded so we know where we are. And also, I got the feeling that the best way to handle it is to kind of be centered, be grounded, and to kind of observe what's going on first and then act. Don't try not to be reactive, because there's going to be a lot of reactivity going on. So try to kind of move back, look at the situation, and then decide where can I be of help or of service, and have it come to a very grounded, centered place and not a reactivity or reactive place. There's going to be plenty of that. In fact, they gave me the visual of, I don't know if you've ever seen Sid and Nancy, the movie Sid and Nancy. Cassie and I both love that movie. It's so depressing, but it's such a good movie. And I love the visuals in it. And they gave me the visual of, there's a scene where they're at a party and it gets broken up by the police and people are running away and getting arrested and fighting. And Sid and Nancy kind of walk through the middle of all of this, and they're just kind of in their, I mean, they're on drugs, but they're kind of in their own world, and they're just walking straight through this chaos without kind of being touched by it. And that's the visual they gave me. And it's kind of like be in the world, but not of the world kind of thing. You're going to be in it, but try to kind of keep your own center and your own spiritual grounding in place. And that's kind of where the membership also fell into, because I just felt like we just may need it. So so that's what's going to be kind of the overall energy. So as far as, I'm going to go kind of into world politics, because and world things that are going to be happening. So I'm going to start with the UK, because I did get that the Queen, I felt like the Queen would step down. And what I want to say about time too, I mean, I'm saying 2022, but it could start tomorrow all the way into, you know, part of 2023. Time is so weird when you're looking at this stuff. And sometimes, even though it comes up, it may take a little bit longer, or it may not quite be here yet, you know, so be a little fluid with the time. Don't think, well, it's December 31st and this hasn't happened yet. Just kind of, you know, understand that it's time is a very hard thing to determine, but this is what the general things, as I'm asking about 2022, that I got. So I did see the Queen stepping down. I did feel like, and this is where it's a little bit confusing, I did feel like it skips a generation, like she hands it down to William. So either Charles, his reign is very short, or she does skip Charles and goes straight to William. So something is with that. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but there's something with that. I also felt like there would be a deal with Europe about Brexit, something to me, it has to do with financial stuff. So I feel like, but I feel like it's good for Britain. So I feel like that is going to be happening. I also saw a lot of problems for China and Russia financially, a lot of financial problems. I felt like people would be very disillusioned with Putin, sick of him, both like the people, but also his like normal, you know, people that have supported him in the past, his party and his, or not party, I don't know what you call it, I guess the oligarchs or whatever, that they'll be kind of angry and annoyed with him, and they'll want to change. So you might see more protests there, more upheaval, more talk about getting rid of him, that kind of thing. So there's going to be that. And then China, I saw a lot of financial things going on, a lot of and again, people getting restless, people getting annoyed. So part of these things like coming to a head, and again, like old things kind of coming to a head. So you're going to see a lot of protests, maybe in countries we haven't seen them before. You're going to see people overthrowing like dictators and beginning to get restless with their governments, even if they haven't in a long time. You're going to see a lot of that stuff brewing. So I just felt like China would have some financial issues, and there's also going to do, I think, something kind of drastic or different in trade. So that's what I saw with them. And then I also saw in kind of world, you know, news is kind of like new COVID treatments coming that are going to treat COVID, not so much immunizations. I'm sure the immunizations will get better and better, but there's going to be a couple of treatments. And I even saw something with like breathing, because it was like some kind of breathing thing. And then I also saw like pills, like, you know, like medication. So there's going to be a couple of new treatments for COVID coming that are going to be really good. And I also saw treatments and some new discoveries about autoimmune diseases. Now that is something I have seen since 2020, I mean, even 2019, I think. So you can see how these things are, they can take a while, but I kept seeing it. And again, to me, that prediction though kind of fits with what's going to be happening, which is kind of all these kind of old energy problems kind of coming to a head and finally kind of hitting a wall and then changing. So, but I am seeing that as well. I am also seeing, so it also kind of translates to the earth as well. So we're going to see things like volcanoes erupting, earthquakes, things that kind of erupt, you know. That's kind of how we, and it almost feels like the whole earth and all of us are kind of purging the old. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're purging the old. The old energy is like we're purging it out. And so we're going to see it purging out of our own lives, but also out of the earth. And so you're going to see kind of, I saw a volcano. I think it's in South America, but I also felt like it was going to be like volcanoes that have been dormant for a long time. Unusual earthquakes and like unusual places. I did see like a couple of like either like tidal waves or tsunamis. Interesting though is that the death toll doesn't seem like it's big. It seems like it's small. Even with all these things happening, it doesn't feel like there's a huge death toll. Now, either I am just not, my guides are not showing me the death toll. That's a possibility, but it just feels like it's going to be more about like property and just like kind of shock and awe, just like what is going on, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm seeing as far as natural disasters, natural changes in our environment, that kind of thing. You're also, and it's interesting too, because the year before that, we saw a lot of like water stuff and fire stuff. And that was, to me, that was all about kind of cleansing in a way. And this feels more like a purge. And so that's just how it comes across. And it seems like the purge would come first and then the cleansing, but that's the way it comes across to me. It's kind of like this is just things erupting, purging, and kind of getting rid of that old, tired energy, whether it's in our micro level and the macro level. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the US. Okay. The United States. So the first thing that came up, which is really interesting, is that there's going to be a lot of stuff with automobiles this year. A lot of like it's a good time to buy, trade, sell, that kind of thing. But also it's there's going to be a lot of innovation, a lot of things that are kind of a long time coming. I'm hoping flying cars. That's what I'm hoping. But there's going to be some innovation in cars. I'm thinking it probably green stuff, green energy, stuff about gas and that kind of thing. And I feel like there's a big company that's going to make a big shift to green somehow. It could, and to me, it feels like, and I don't know why I don't get the name, but it does feel like a big company like Chevron or Shell or something like that, because I do feel like it's oil based, but it's a big deal. It's like a big thing, and they're going to switch. So that's and something we've been waiting for a while. And again, kind of things come to a head and switching that old energy into new energy. So that's going to be happening. So the other thing I saw was with the stock market kind of being up and down. I didn't see any huge drops or huge gains, but I did see it just kind of being a little unsteady, I guess you'd say. I have to say, I am not great at financial predictions. And I think it's partly just my lack of knowledge. I don't have a lot of knowledge in that area. Same with like medical things. I always feel like they're very general and very like, okay, this is all you can grasp. But that's what I have. So I just wanted to caveat that by just saying that. I did feel like inflation would improve and Biden's numbers would improve as well. I felt like the Dems would keep the House, and that I'm not sure about the Senate right now. I feel like it's very undetermined right now, but I feel like if Republicans lose the Senate, that Mitch McConnell will go. That's one thing that seems very clear to me. And then I also saw two very significant deaths. And the reason these came through, and I don't know who they are, but what is very apparent to me is that they are, it affects world politics. It affects the world. So I feel like they must be pretty high up in politics. Probably, it feels like both. I'm not sure. Maybe one inside the United States and one outside, or two, or both inside the United States. But it feels like it kind of, it's significant. It's significant. And yeah, I just got chills on that. So it's significant in some way, but it's also planned. You know, it's also written in the stars. It's planned. I do feel like it's also kind of, I do feel like they're both what I would say like hard right. So if it's outside the United States, it would be like an authoritarian figure or somebody that is really far to, you know, kind of in that category. If it's inside the United States, it's going to be probably someone on the far right wing. But there's two. So I just wanted to let you know that. And I think that kind of wraps up what I have. And of course, I'll add on to, you know, all of these things I'll kind of add on to as we go. But that's what I got. I know it's a lot, and you can go back and kind of look through it again, but it should be the basic thing is that I feel like I wanted to get across is that this year is going to be a year of things coming to a head, old energy being kind of purged and let go, and the new energy beginning to come in. I feel like that is like 2023, 2024. We're going to see a lot of that. That's what I got. So you guys check out the membership details. I can't tell you how excited I am. And again, it is like kind of shifting into new energy. Again, the channel will stay the same. Everything will stay the same. If you'd like the channel and that's what you want, nothing's going to change. The only thing that will change next year is the readings. And I will be still doing mentoring sessions. They will be spirit guided. So you can ask about your own abilities and what your guides have to say about where you are spiritually and where to go next and all those kinds of things. But that's the direction that I'll be going in, because I want to do a lot more teaching next year. I want to do some retreats with you guys next year. I'll still be teaching with Debbie, and do whatever that I can do and what my guides can do to help us kind of navigate the crazy energy of next year. I did want to end with this. I did see Trump getting indicted, and I wanted to say I feel like there might be two people indicting him. The first one I think is James. I can't think of her last name. I mean, I can't think of her first name. But that's who I think maybe bring the first charges for him. And then I think someone else may do it. You know, there may be another person that follows. But I do think 2022 is the year we're going to see finally the hammer come down in some way on someone significant. So I wanted to save that little tidbit for the very last. But so hopefully you are informed now for 2022. You can make your plans. I hope you sign up for the membership. I can't wait. And yeah, so everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Okay.